Grow from within. How to stop overthinking. Get out of your head and back into your life. Overthinking is like quicksand for the mind. You replay conversations, question decisions, and imagine worst-case scenarios until you're emotionally drained. It's not just frustrating, it's paralyzing. When your brain becomes a battlefield of doubts and imagined outcomes, it can rob you of sleep, joy, and peace. You stop living in the present and start living in hypothetical futures that may never come true. A restless mind can become your worst prison. Overthinking often begins as an attempt to gain control. You analyze because you care. You want to make the right choice, avoid pain, or protect yourself from embarrassment. But the more you try to predict every possible outcome, the more overwhelmed you become. This mental spiral is usually fueled by fear of making a mistake, fear of judgment, or fear of failure. Culturally, we're encouraged to think things through, but rarely taught when to stop. And so we keep going, convinced that one more thought will bring clarity. Instead, it brings confusion. Let's see an example. Daniel had a job interview scheduled for Monday. All weekend, he thought about every possible question they might ask. He practiced answers in his head and imagined every possible mistake he could make. By the time Monday came, he was exhausted. His responses were flat and mechanical, his energy low. He didn't get the job. Not because he wasn't qualified, but because he was so tangled in his thoughts, he couldn't show up as himself. How to stop overthinking. 1. Label your thoughts. When you notice yourself spiraling, say to yourself, "This is overthinking." Naming it separates you from it and gives you a chance to pause. 2. Shift to the body. Overthinking lives in the head. Bring yourself back to the present through physical actions. Stretch, take a walk, or run cold water over your hands. Movement helps ground you. 3. Set a decision deadline. Give yourself a time limit to think something through. Once the time is up, make a decision and move forward. Trust that clarity often comes from action, not more thinking. 4. Use the 5-5-5 rule. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 days? 5 months? 5 years? This helps shrink the perceived importance of the issue and reduce anxiety. 5. Practice self-compassion. Remind yourself that it's okay not to have all the answers. Being kind to yourself reduces the fear that fuels overthinking. What to remember: your mind is a powerful tool, but it was never meant to be your jailer. When you stop believing every thought and start returning to the present, you regain your freedom. Life doesn't require perfect answers. It requires your presence, your energy, and your willingness to keep moving forward even when the path isn't clear. Let go of the mental noise. Come back to this moment. That's where your life is waiting. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you don't miss any of our content. See you in the next video from Grow From Within.